here on the Gerald the Bossman show. We're joined by the coach, Northern Colorado Bears, out of the Big Sky Conference, come off a big win against the Montana Grizzlies. Coach Jeff Linder. Coach Linder, I know you're happy after that win at Montana, Coach. It's keeping that race for that title for the Big Sky there.
JR, well, it's good being back on, and, it's funny. There's easier ways to make a living. It's funny how there's such a fine line between winning or losing. Ahmad Rory makes probably an NBA three at the buzzer. It's probably a completely different feeling, but it was good to be on the other end, and especially against Montana, who's had our number over the last couple of years. And I think for us to kind of get that proverbial monkey off our back, I think that it'll definitely help a young team like us who starts 3 true freshmen. It's probably one of the the youngest teams in the country. If you look at KenPom, I think we're the 300th youngest team in the country. And so a win like that can really help a young team's psyche moving forward down to the stretch run here, as we call it, with one game behind Montana with 4 games left, and then ultimately for most of us, in the Big Sky or most of the leagues in the country, we're all one bid leagues, so it really only matters what you do come conference tourney time, and can you find a way to win 3 games when it really matters in March.
Yeah, Coach, like I said, Montana thumped you pretty good, about 24 points, I think, and to win that game against those guys, if you're the team you have is very young. Like you said, your senior guys, Jordan Davis there, but those young guys around him, that experience they're getting is going to be so valuable for you as you go down the road here, getting that confidence, say, we beat the best team in the league, arguably, and we beat them, and we can compete with those guys. So now if you see them again in the Big Sky tournament, we're not afraid of them now.
No, there's no question. And you look at Montana, who's, in order to be the champ, you got to beat the champs, and they're the 5th oldest team in the country. And they're a team that, the first time we played them at home, our guys, we haven't been in the 3 years that I've been here, being year 3, kind of where we came from until now. I mean, we've always been the hunter as opposed to being the one that's hunted. And Montana came in the first time after 2 losses. They were kind of unexpected, and we knew that, they came out and basically just threw a couple of haymakers and knocked us out. So I had to remind our guys going into there that, 1, can't be scared, and 2, that, you better go in there and, you better be like, as I talked about the famous, the war, the Thomas Hearns, marvelous Marvin Hagler fight back in the day, the greatest 9 minutes in boxing, when Tommy Hearns was knocking everybody out with that right hand, and everyone knows how tough marvelous Marvin Hagler was, and all he did was walk right through that right hand in the first round, and pretty much once he kind of stood up to that right hand, Tommy Hearns pretty much just quit, and he knocked him out in the 3rd round. And so that was kind of our mentality, and ultimately kind of our response in that game. Our guys, each time the Montana made a run, we just went back to thinking about being marvelous Marvin Hagler, and just walking right through that right hand.
Now, Coach, throughout the season, how have you seen your freshmen grow? Because I know you have a very young team. I was looking at your roster; it's very, very young. It's younger than I thought he was. I was like, oh, wow, they're really young. So, how have they grown throughout the year for his game plan discipline, game prep, shoot arounds, watching film, accepting the schemes you're running, accepting their roles? So, how have you guys worked on getting those guys to grow from when you got them on campus this summer to now?
Well, I think the beauty of it is being able to get them up here in the summer, starting in early June, and then with the NCAA changing the rules to where you can actually work with them on the court for 4 hours a week, that definitely makes a big difference. But, 1, in recruiting, we really try to focus on, smart players, guys that, that have a great feel for the game, because ultimately those guys can make the adjustment a lot quicker. And also guys, too, that come from winning programs. And, and that's something that I think just carries over. And then, when you add those young guys to, one of the better guards in the country, and I don't care about, what conference you're in, whether that's the ACC, Pac-12, Big 12, Jordan Davis, my senior guard is as good as any guard in the country. And as good of a player that Jordan Davis is, he's even that much more better as a leader. And for those guys to see when, coaches talk about when your best player is your hardest worker, it makes everything just kind of, just makes everything work. And Jordan Davis is, by far, I mean, he's our hardest worker. He's an elite level worker. I don't throw that word around lightly. I mean, he is elite. And for those guys to see the way he handles himself, the way he carries himself, and the way he talks to those guys, he doesn't talk down to them. He understands in order for him to have the senior year that he wants, he needs those guys to be good. And in the reality too is that, we're under NCAA sanctions still. This will be the last year of the sanctions that I kind of took over when I got the job, and we're only at 11 scholarships. Division I basketball, you have 13, and we're at 11 right now, and with 5 true freshmen on scholarship. And so for us to be where we're at, 18 and 9, and in second place in our league, it really says a lot about those young kids, but also says a lot about our older players, Jordan Davis and Jonah Radabon, the leadership that they provide every day for those young guys.
Exactly. Having those guys around is only going to help your program down the road because you have so many young guys, which tells me you have stability going forward with that roster because you can be very picky who you take now because of the guys you have on the roster now that are very young, and 3 of them are starting for you now. So you're set up well for the future. So by the time they're juniors and seniors, you have an older team that's been playing for 4 years that can really be dangerous to somebody if you get in that big dance there down the road there.
Yeah, and I think that's sometimes the trick that college coaches play on these kids in terms of talking about player development. There's only so much you can do when in the off season you only have 2 hours or 4 hours to actually be on the court with guys. And really, the way guys separate themselves, especially as freshmen and sophomores, is by the number of minutes they play. The total minutes that you play as a freshman or sophomore. So for my freshmen who maybe had an opportunity to maybe go to a so-called bigger school or bigger conference, knowing that they had an opportunity to come in and play 800, 900, 1,000 minutes as a freshman, that's what's going to separate them from some guy who wanted to win the 15 seconds of fame on Twitter and say that he's going to this school or that school or this conference. And then once you get there and you're not playing, well, guess what? My guy who's playing 900 or 1,000 minutes and you're playing 100 minutes, he's going to pass you up in a hurry. And so that was the big sell with some of our freshmen who, we feel like moving forward. And like you said, when those guys get some years under their belt, some experience in playing in the places that we have to play in the non-conference, they're not going to be scared to play anybody in a first-round NCAA tournament game.
Exactly. And I know your non-conference wasn't what you wanted to be record-wise, but I feel like those guys seeing that early, that those different styles of play, different defenses, different environments is going to help them immensely this year and down the road because they got thrown to the fire per se, and they learned on the job, and trial and error is the best way you learn anything you do, even radio and coaching as well. Once you get into it to really know how to do it.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, people don't realize, at our level with our non-conference schedule, we have to go out and play, the bye games, in order to supplement our budget, but which is probably the biggest thing. So we have to go out and play a Texas Tech. We got to go out and play 3 or 4 of those games where, you're already behind the 8 ball. And so now for us to kind of come away, even though we had a couple of disappointing losses on neutral courts in Vegas before Christmas, but to kind of come away with how young we were, and then with the starter being out pretty much the first 3 months of the season, Jalen Sanders, which made us that much younger, for us to have the non-conference schedule we had was actually, I would have probably taken that if you said that. And then for those young guys to get the experience and then to be able to carry that over into conference play, we knew that would pay dividends in the long run.
Yeah, Coach, I feel like I said, man, I feel like at your level, like, you got to pick the right guys. And I try to tell guys all the time who go to mid-major schools, work on your game. Mid-major school, you're the perfect place to grow your game. You get you a good coach that can max you out what you're going to be. And you can learn to accept your role rather than sitting on a bench at a high major school, like you mentioned, and not getting any run because you're able to learn on the job. You got guys to care for you. You can learn how to get stronger, learn the game of basketball, learn schemes, learn how to watch film, learn how to read a scouting report, learn how to keep game plan discipline on the game court, and learn how to play the game the right way. And I feel like at your level, guys are afforded that opportunity, and then by the time they're seniors and juniors, they can be high major players based on the development of their game in their bodies, and could possibly play overseas or in the NBA or a G League if that's so choose that be their career path after leaving school.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the trick for us is one, I think, you would think with 365 Division I teams, you'd think everyone would have a plan in terms of, fitting their recruiting to their style of play and to their system, but there's a lot of guys out there that just want to go find talent or find, just athleticism, but they really don't have a plan in terms of their recruiting. They don't have a plan to recruit to their system. And I think that's something that, that we have, and it's something that, and I think I've been able to identify in my career, trying to find some of those late bloomer guys, the guys that maybe aren't as fully developed when they're 15, 16, 17 years old, but knowing that, they still have room to grow in terms of height. They still have room to grow in terms of their athleticism. And I was fortunate enough to recruit Damian Lillard to Weber State, recruited Chandler Hutchison, who was a first-round pick by the Bulls this past year at Boise State. Two guys that were completely under the radar coming out of high school, but they found the right place, the right level. And the thing about our level, too, is we don't have the resources to where we can, like my assistant coaches are out recruiting every single day or twice or three times a week, where now my assistant coaches, we got to make sure we develop the guys that we do have, but knowing, too, that my assistant coaches are also the ones in the gym working them out. You don't have a grad assistant. You don't have a manager rebounding for them. No, we have actual coaches coaching those guys every day. And so if you start adding those days up, that's when you can start separating yourself.
You got there right, Coach. I've seen that a lot with different coaches at your level. They actually on the court. Like, I was sitting in the coach's office the other day. He said, "Well, I gotta go get this guy some shots up." I'm like, "Oh, you gotta do it yourself?" He's like, "Yeah, I gotta do it myself because we don't have anybody." Because I was shocked, but I get it because he's like, I know what kind of it is at an OVC school. So I'm like, I get it. I understand it. So yeah, no doubt. And Weber State, speaking of them, you played them coming up this week, Coach Ray and those guys down there, and you got Idaho State as well at home. So as you prepare for these teams on the film, Coach, what are you seeing from these guys, and what do you tell your team as you get ready for these two big games here this week in the Big Sky to keep you right there with Montana in that race for first place and get that number one seed to get the automatic bid to the NIT?
Yeah, the cliche is the next game is the biggest game, which is so true. But I think this time of year too is you really are what you are. I mean, you're not going to reinvent yourself. Hopefully the habits that we've instilled in our players from the time we got the job, 2.5 years ago, that that foundation in what we do every day is ultimately what allows us to win games. I mean, the catchword nowadays is the process, which Belichick has made famous, or Saban's made famous. But at the end of the day, it's true. I mean, it's what you do every day and how you hold your guys to a high standard every day, and you hold them accountable every day, and that's what wins you games this time of year. I mean, you're not gonna trick anybody with tricky plays. Now, you better hope that recruiting you got some tricky players that can go make some plays, when it really matters. And that's what luckily I have. And a guy like Jordan Davis in those last 4 minutes of games against the better teams, the more athletic teams, that are also prepared and are good teams that are going to try to take you out of what you want to do. I mean, do you have a dude that can go make a play where I can just go 1-4 low, or I can just put him in space and he can go make a play for himself or create a rotation or create a double team that's going to give somebody else an easier shot? So, these next 4 games we have in conference, we're just going to take one day at a time, and knowing that we have a big one coming up here Thursday against a team that's in third place right behind us in Weber State, who has a very talented roster.
You got that right, Coach. And last one I got for you, Coach. I keep looking at your standings. I look at the Big Sky a lot because I know a lot of coaches with Travis and Shantae and Randy. I talked to all those guys on the show, and Barrett too at Portland State. I talked to them as well. So I look at your league a lot. The league to me, since I've been keeping an eye on a lot of my buddies I talk to in the league, it's like every night's a dog fight. Even the team with the worst records are still going to give you a hard time each night in the Big Sky. So speak about how the conference is as a whole, and top to bottom, how every game's a tough game no matter what you do.
Yeah, it's I think that our league, especially this year, from top to bottom, it's true. I mean, there's no gimme. I mean, on the road or at home, I mean, you better make sure you bring it. Which every coach is going to say that, but there's always a couple teams in the league where we know we don't have to play our best or to go win tonight. We don't need our A game. But in our league, there's not that big a discrepancy. Now, I do think Montana, with their talent and with their veteran group, I think their margin for error is a lot greater. Even though, but losing a has kind of affected that a little bit. But I do think from top to bottom in our league, really competitive. Got some really good coaches. And the thing about our league is, you might not necessarily have the big post players that are dominating inside, but you have some high level guards, guys that'll be making a lot of money. With the guys like Lillard in the NBA, but there's going to be some guys that are going to be overseas making a lot of money for a long period of time, that guard position.
Yes, and with Coach, I'll be keeping an eye on you guys with Weber State, and I'm looking at you against Idaho State as well. Hope you guys keep on doing what you're doing, Coach. Hope to talk to you again in a few weeks when you get a chance to go to the big dance with the NIT. Hopefully, I'll talk to you one way or another, Coach, and I hope you guys do well, man.
Well, I appreciate that, JR. Thank you for having me on, and love to talk basketball to you anytime. You get it.
All right, Coach. Have a good one. Talk to you guys real soon out there, man.
Thank you, JR.
All right, folks. It's Coach Linder here on the Bossman Show.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our Teen Driver Safety Program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan City, let yourself shine.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our Teen Driver Safety Program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.
All right, folks, back here on the Gerald the Bossman show. Got a good friend of mine on the program. He's now with Missouri State in Springfield, Missouri, coaching the Bears up real nice. It's my man, Coach Dana Ford. Coach Ford, what is up, my man?
Hey, how's it going, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing good, Coach. I thank you for joining the show. I know you had a tough loss last night, but but I know you guys still in that race up in the Missouri Valley. One game behind Drake, and Drake's coming to your place on senior night. So how you feel about the opportunity to beat those guys and maybe get the number one seed and win your title this year?
Well, you know, we still got, like you said, a slight chance to finish tied at the top of the league standings. A couple of things have to go our way, and I think, you know, prior to last night, we kind of controlled our own destiny a couple times down the stretch here, and we've slipped up both opportunities. So hopefully things go our way, and we play well on Saturday, and then Drake is probably, you know, from top to bottom, one of the best all-around teams in our league. So it'll be a challenge, but looking forward to, you know, honoring our three seniors on Senior Day.
Yes, indeed. Now, Coach, I know you took this job for you. Being 16-14 right now, 10-7 overall in Missouri Valley Conference play, is this what you expected when you took this job, or are you kind of where you wanted to be when you took the job, or you kind of overseeded what you thought when you took the job over last year?
Well, we try not to put number expectations on our players. I mean, obviously, we prepare to win games, and we go out there and play to win. But there's so many variables that affect winning. And so we try not to do a number expectation. But, you know, I did think that we had an opportunity to build a strong foundation, and I think that we've been able to do that this year. We got a lot of guys in our program that we feel like are talented enough for this level, have high enough character for our program. And now we have to figure out how we can improve. So I did expect for us to fight for our culture every day. That's something that we've done. But, you know, we've probably won a few more games than we anticipated. And obviously, I don't think anyone expected us to have an opportunity to tie for the league championship. But I don't think people thought that seven losses would tie you for it either. So it's been a weird year in the Valley.
Yes, indeed. And then, Coach, on the court, I know you play about 7 guys. What's been the key factors for you on the court with your guys to get them to play this way after non-conference where you was 6-7 non-conference? So what was the key factor turning them around when you got in the Valley again?
Well, you know, we changed from playing a double-posted offense to a 4-guard offense around a hybrid forward. I think we lost a guy, Shimon Wojcik, in our first league game of the year to a broken foot, and that required us to go with more of a 4-guard rotation. And, you know, we did a good job of handling the basketball and making some timely shots. And then there was a time there almost to the midway point of league play where we even switched up our defensive and offensive philosophy. We actually tweaked our offense philosophy prior and then did the defense philosophy later. Now they've both kind of worked together, and we've done a good job winning close games with, you know, extra possessions, good free throw shooting, and solid decision-making down the stretch. So I think it's been one of those years where we've really tried to navigate the waters. And you know, we're trying to get our program into the place where we can just kind of sail the ship, but I don't think we're quite there yet. We're still doing some navigating.
I hear that, Coach. And for the guys on the court, I know you play a good number of guys who are juniors there who play for you, seniors as well. So with them guys being able to take the coaching, take the game plan discipline, take the scouting reports that you put forth for them, they're not wowed by it. They can handle it. They know the scheme you're expecting. You go over and practice, go over and shoot arounds. They bring that shoot around to the game court. So is that how you feel that having those guys who've been experienced through those wars really can help you as you guys have to navigate the waters and kind of change things as you go based on need and injury worries there?
Well, I mean, we're pretty comfortable with our senior guards, and they've done a good job of buying in and trying to do what we asked them to do, and obviously, we've been fairly healthy since that injury to Shimon Wojcik. So, when you play only about 7 guys like we are, maybe 8, then guys know that they're going to play. So they're locked in, they're working on their games, and they're trying to do the best they can because they don't have to look over their shoulder. And, we're fortunate because we've got 3 senior guards, Ryan Krecklow, Josh Webster, and Jared Dixon. And for the most part, they have pretty good basketball IQs. And on top of that, they're great coachable kids. So we've been very fortunate with their leadership. And, we're just trying to ride that wave for these guys and finish this thing as strong as possible.
And, Coach, what is Tulio Da Silva, Keandre Cook, and Jared Dixon meant to your program, as you said, on and off the court as you build this foundation and set your culture for the Missouri State Bears going forward?
They've been great. I mean, obviously, we brought in Keandre Cook and Tulio Da Silva, but they've been great. I mean, they try to do the best they can in terms of the classroom. They try to give an honest day's effort in practice every day. I mean, I know it gets hard. Neither one of those guys are coming from programs that have won championships at the Division I level, so it's a learning curve for all of our players. And I think that those guys have tried to adapt. Although we've stubbed our toe with a couple of these opportunities, I've been pleasantly pleased with their efforts for the most part, especially conference play, in which we are currently, I believe, 10-7, with an opportunity to win 11 games, which is the most that they've won here in like 8 years in the league. And on top of that, I think the future is bright.
Yes, indeed. And Coach, you played 7 guys. But the guys are very experienced. So this time of year, February and March, you need guys who are not scared, who are not scared of the action, who are not going to make that play, execute at the right time. So having those senior guards out there, Coach, has to make you feel wonderful when you get in the MVCT tournament there, that they can make it happen when it counts for you and the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to lean on those guys late February, early March for a couple of reasons. Number one, like you mentioned, they've been there before. They're experienced. They should not be surprised by anything. They know what it takes, whether or not they've come up short and learned that lesson that way, or whether or not they've been able to accomplish it on the winning side and been able to retain that information as well. So we're definitely grateful to have senior guards. And then I think that the second factor of senior guards or senior players in general is just that urgency that seniors play with, because when you tell a senior the next time you lose, your career is over, then that sparks a little bit more urgency. And I think that we're fortunate enough to have about 3 guys that have that, and I think there are some other teams in our league that have the same thing. And I really think that comes into play come conference tournament time.
You got there right, Coach. And something I know you're very big on player development. I mean, Tennessee State senior guys work out with Coach Peel and those guys working at their game. So for you at Missouri State, would it be in a bigger conference in the major realm of things? How do you approach the player development piece now, being at a bigger school with more resources and a different kind of league and who you're playing? So how do you approach that now going forward?
Well, it's just a bigger part. I mean, we have the luxury to have resources here, to have unlimited access to facilities and training table and staff and things of that nature. So player development is behind, slightly behind recruiting. And I think that although we feel like we want to bring in players from day one that can really help us, we also have to do a good job of developing those players and making them better. I'm thinking about Tulio Da Silva, Keandre Cook, Jared Ritter this offseason. they're going to have really good player development off seasons and become better players and add things to their game, perfect parts of their game. But if you can't develop young people on and off the floor, then you're really missing the boat in college.
You got that right, Coach, and getting guys to accept their roles at that level too, because a lot of guys are loved on in high school, and you know that, and then they get to you, or in JC even, they get loved, but they get to your level where they're not the guy who have to accept it, whether they're a screener, whether they're a defender, whether you're a corner three guy or a role guy. So the development system, Coach, getting those guys to accept their roles. How are you going about that now, being here at Missouri State, since you moved on to have new players, new guys who don't know you? How do you get them to accept their roles and accepting what you want them to be going forward and grow into what they can and max them out as players and people?
Well, one of the things that we try to do is we try to bring in players to be role-specific spots that we need. For example, if you were a really good shooter or if you were a really good ball handler, we don't bring you in here and try to have you do something that you haven't been doing. So we kind of are filling a role through our recruiting. So we don't always have to get guys to buy into new roles. We go out and if we need athleticism, we go out and try to find the most athletic player we can find. If we need a point guard, we try to go out and find the best point guard. So a lot of it is just getting them to buy into the fact that they need to become better at whatever it is that they do. We tell our guys all the time, go play the game that you've played your whole life. We're not trying to change you once you get here. And I think a lot of times that's why we're able to get people to accept their roles and not really have to fight that battle because, strategically on the front end, we try to do our work and feel the need that we are looking for through recruiting, not try to bring in a guy who scored a lot of points and then tell him when he gets here he's got to be a lockdown defender. I mean, we don't do that.
Exactly, and you've always been good at finding those diamonds in the rough. I know that about you. You can find a good player. You always got that covered. And then speaking of finding good players, I think for you having a good year this year, going 10-7 in the conference, could go 11 wins in the tournament here, that it's going to help you in recruiting because guys are like, oh, Missouri State, they first-year coach, they're doing pretty well there. So make guys maybe say, hey, I might want to be a part of that going forward. So with the good that you're having this year, how's it going for you in recruiting so far? Trying to get guys to come to you guys and join you guys next year.
We've been fortunate. We had we took some transfers to sit out this first year, and they're going to join our team next year. And both have been in the NCAA tournament, and both have been, big parts of their team's success. And now I don't think they were the best player on their teams, but they were also young in their careers. But Tyree Dixon was at Middle Tennessee, won over 50 games in 2 years. He knows what it's like to be a champion. He's played in the NIT as well as the NCAA tournament, won a game in the NCAA tournament. And then Josh Hall is another kid coming from Nevada who's won a game in the NCAA tournament, won conference championships. So those guys are sitting out, and they're really going to help us from day one. They're big, they're strong, they're athletic for their positions. And then we were fortunate enough to sign in the early period a nice class, 3 in-state kids that have a bright future, Jamonte Black, DeJuan Harris, and Tyon Freeman. All 3 are guards. And then finally, I guess the biggest piece to our recruiting class so far is going to be the addition of Gage Prim, who many consider one of the best JUCO big men in the country. Just a back to the basket, 6'7", 6'8", 240-pound guy that can get some easy baskets. So we're looking forward to him joining our program as well. And we will definitely probably add a player or two late because, like we talked about in our staff meetings, we need to continue to try to get better. We need to be better next year than what we were this year.
Exactly. And, Coach, speaking of, because you especially being better than you were this year but, Coach, your league is playing great. You have 7 teams with at least 9 wins in the Valley. When we took this job, the Valley was this deep for its talent with all these wins. You got 7 teams with 9 or more wins already in the league play. You got one more game to go this weekend. So do you think the league will be this good for as just the wins, how it's been spread out, or did you kind of surprise you as well?
Well, last year was the 8th ranked league in the country, and so we figured it'd be good. Now we're not ranked that this year. I think we dropped all the way down to maybe 13, or if not lower than that. I'm not 100% sure, but this league has always been good, and And a lot of teams in our league have starters that come back, and for whatever reason this year, teams just have not performed as well, and that's a trap that we want to try to stay out of. We want to continue to raise the expectations here. We want to be as humble as we can and work as hard as we've ever worked this off season, in hopes of having a better year next year. But I played in this league, so I've got a great amount of respect for this conference, and I still think it's one of the better ones in the country. And hopefully next year's group can make a comeback.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, I'm be cheering for you this weekend. Of course, you my guy. Hope you beat Drake, get that 11th win, and go to that tournament and make some noise, man. I hope you do it, brother.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right, Coach. Take it easy, folks.
Okay, see you, buddy.
All right, that's Dana Ford, people, on the Bossman Show, the Missouri State Bears.
For all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.
All right, folks, back on the Bossman show, back by popular demand. Somebody who has not been fired, and it was alleged they were fired by a certain individual in a cold part of the country. My man from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, the tri-state area, but repping Jersey, my man Tony T-Bone Williams. Bone, glad to have you back since you wasn't fired.
Oh, thanks, brother. It's good to be back. I'm surprised that I'm allowed back on the airwaves.
Exactly. And I'm going to give Bone a chance to address an individual who we won't name out loud, but who listens to the show every week and texts me every week about the show. Even though they claim they don't like me and Bone, listen to the show every week. So, Bone, the floor is yours to address this individual who alleged you was, quote, fired like he fired me, allegedly. So, feel free to let him have it.
Yeah, when you told me that someone said they got me fired because of all the complaints against me, first of all, what's beef? Like, I don't understand. Like, I've never met said coach one-on-one. Like, I've been in the same room as him when he coached at a Southern team. I've been in the same room with him, and I never had beef with him. So I didn't understand where that came from. Never understood why I was a Yankee Doodle dandy. I never understood why you think I got fired. I guess I could be petty and start quoting Eminem songs saying, guess who's back again. But I'm not petty. But so I will just say hello to the coach that will not be named. I would say, hello, buddy. How are you? And good to see you again.
Yes, indeed. Like, never again in show business, sir. Why don't I fire my brother Bone? He's been good to me for many years. And once again, why are you worrying about what goes on this radio program?
It was just so weird because apparently this is a failing show that needs ratings. But he listens every week. So I find it funny in that way.
Exactly. Now, Bone, this week I was in Memphis where I saw your Lakers melt down, unfortunately, once more to a terrible team. I saw them play the Hawks on February 12th and melt down. Now I see them in Memphis. Melt down against the Memphis Grizzlies who are tanking to keep their draft pick. And what I witnessed was the passive-aggressive one, LeBron James, not playing defense like he's been coaching for the last few years on defense. He's scoring and rebounding and assisting, but he's just going through the motions. Rajon Rondo, his deputy lieutenant, he was coasting as well. And you have a negative 10 from your bench of JaVale McGee, Tyson Chandler, Reggie Bullock, who you just got. Mike Muscala can't give you off the bench, and you traded for the guy. So the Lakers are a bleep show, to say the least. And my sources on the team, as you can probably figure out, are Lance and Mike. I can't get any good words about the team. So and JaVale McGee, another one of my buddies. So I feel like all those guys on one-year contracts, and plus some rookies who LeBron tried to trade away to New Orleans. It's all come to head, and this is where GM LeBron has failed. And when that trade didn't go through, the chemistry was screwed for the rest of the year, Bone.
Yeah, I think the non-trade, it might have been the death knell to the team. And not just because they didn't get Anthony Davis, but because the fact that they had so many guys on the chopping block. And you know the rumors that it was all LeBron. It's all LeBron fingerprints all over the team. So I think it's something to kill morale. I think that was probably the final death knell as far as team morale. That being said, they're still only 3 games out of the spot, and they were a +6 in the standings when LeBron, up until Christmas, when he got hurt. So it's funny because this team is so infuriating for fans because they can beat the Warriors when healthy on Christmas as they did in Golden State. They can beat the Rockets, but then they go ahead and lose to teams like the Hawks and the Grizz and the Knicks and the Nets, the Magic twice.
The Pelicans.
They play
without AD.
The Pelicans. Yeah, the Pelicans, the Mavs. So they play up to the competition when they have to, but they also play down. And that's a sign of 2 things. You're a very young roster, or 2, you just don't have morale to actually battle back from adversity because you guys don't get along.
Yeah, and this, I don't know how you would feel. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've been in a situation where I've been fired, or I heard this was gonna happen. It causes tension.
Yeah.
And as you know, Bone, I mean, that individual never saw eye to eye ever again. Who we referenced. So if I know you're trying to get rid of me, and that's LeBron James, but you want me to help you win games, I'm going to half-ass it and not give it my all. Because if you held your way, I'll be out here in New Orleans. So why would I give it my all? Now I know I need to play for myself, especially if I'm one of them rookies or one of the guys on a one-year deal. But I'm not playing for you. So that turns into a lot of hero ball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. People, I know outside looking in, I've covered NBA for a decade plus, and people don't get it from the outside. They're paid millions of dollars or X amount of dollars. Just show up and do your job. Okay, I get that part. But at the end of the day, they're still human beings who have emotions, who have feelings, who have families who are worrying about, are we in LA or are we in New Orleans, in a week or so. So, I mean, there are things outside of basketball that affect players because they're human beings. They have lives. They have to worry about, are my kids staying behind or in LA? Are they coming to New Orleans? Are they changing schools in the middle of the year? There are things that go on in these players' minds and their lives. So, I mean, I think fans get I think a little ahead of themselves in that factor. That these guys are still, yes, they're professionals, they're millionaires, they play a great game and they have a great lifestyle, but they still have feelings, they have emotions. And when you see the top dog, either behind the scenes or overtly saying, I don't want you guys here, of course you're not going to play as hard as probably you will. And not because on purpose, it's just human nature.
And also a problem with Lakers is Luke Walton's rotations. Like, I don't get why Mike Muscala does not play. You traded for him, he doesn't see the court. JaVale McGee was playing well, didn't take him out of the game, you don't see him anymore. Or Chandler. Or it's like, I don't get his rotations. You don't know what's going to be Mo Wagner or Chandler or McGee for a certain night. You don't know on the wings is going to be. And just think if Lonzo Ball's out there, how tricky the rotation would be with Lonzo Ball on the court there.
Yeah, there are times where he's had at least 4 different point guards or lead guards, on the floor. At one point he'll have Rondo, he'll have Lance, he'll have LeBron, Ingram. Those are all 4 lead ball handlers at once. And you kind of wonder who is the top guy. I mean, obviously Ron's the top guy, but who are the other ball handlers on the roster? And then the rotation is, even you go back when they had Zubac, and Zubac was on a tear for 4 or 5 games, and then you won't see him again. It's like Walton, I think, plays the roster a little too much as far as rotation, and it kind of messes up, I think, the timing, and it messes up the guys' flow on the floor. And you're right, it's just almost like a mixmash of things on the floor, and you're seeing what happens now.
You got that right. So the LA Lakers right now are in the midst of turmoil. We'll see where they progress throughout the rest of the season. Not many games left in the season because get this, the last day of the season is April 10th, and that's not very far away. April 10th. So we'll see what Lakers end up. Bro, another quick story. New York, Ja Rule from New York, he got booed in Milwaukee by what didn't get booed. The fan, his sound didn't work, and then you see the Bucks shooting doing his performance at halftime. Then he curses the Timberwolves. Then he's cursed the Kings. Now, is he a little bit a base god now? Like when Ja Rule get a curse like cursing people? I mean, what's on with Ja Rule?
I think Ja Rule now is under a lot of stress and pressure because of the documentary that came out. You know, of those two documentaries, they are not flattering. I think right now there's kind of like a venomous behavior towards Ja Rule from the public, and I thought it was a weird thing to see him on at the halftime show in Milwaukee, and then Giannis out there shooting free throws right in the middle of the act. I mean that's a total lack of respect for Ja Rule. I'm wondering that it was there's so much shade thrown that way. I'm wondering, did 50 Cent call down to Milwaukee and tell Giannis to sabotage Ja Rule's show?
Or did he talk to a certain coach to do it as well?
Yeah, well, we already know the coach has feelings, and he had, a lot of pettiness. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. He's like, well, go out there and sabotage the halftime show. I wouldn't be shocked.
Exactly. And get this, Bone. A Florida man stole more than $30,000 in rare coins and cashed them in for a fraction of their value at change machines at area Kroger grocery stores.
He cashed on the winnings, the coins?
Yeah, the rare coins that he stole. Yeah, the antique coins he stole.
So first of all, he's a thief and an idiot. So he's over 2 right there. I mean, to steal the rare coins and not have the wherewithal to think, maybe I should go to someone that might know something. Then go to a Kroger's coin machine and cash them in for way undervalue. So he is a bad guy and a dummy.
Exactly. And another Florida man gets caught stuffing $19 million worth of cocaine inside of a storage room at Smoothie King in the pineapple section.
He stuffed cocaine in there?
Yes, $19 million worth of cocaine in the pineapple section in the Smoothie King closet.
And I'm assuming that there was a manager that found it.
Well, the cameras called it. The cameras got him. Got caught on camera, and the manager reported to local authorities.
These corner stores and convenience stores, they all have cameras. These guys, I don't know if he's on his high on supply or what, because you have to know that there are cameras everywhere in the little stores.
Exactly. And final one I got for you, this Bone. Oh, brother, it's pretty terrible. Florida man arrested after offering to pay for his meal with sloppy toppy from McDonald's due to not have enough money to pay for his McDouble and chocolate fudge sundae.
It's too bad that's not Burger King, because then you could say, have it your way. But so I guess McDonald's, have to do. But, how good is that burger? How slam is that burger where you're going to offer some mouth stuff for a burger? I mean, I don't mind frequenting McDonald's every now and then, but it's never been that good.
Exactly. Like, you have to drive through the window, you say, hey, man, I don't have any money, but I got this toppy for you. Come and get it. Like, how does that work? Is she going to go to the window and get into your... How is that going to go down, sir?
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, like I said, I like McDonald's every now and then, but to say that it's that good, where I'm going to pull up and I'm going to say, you know what? I don't got it, but I got something else for you.
So you're in jail, my man, on cessation charges for 218.
Yeah.
For Sunday and a McDouble.
How do you explain that to other patrons in the prison where they ask you, what you in for? And you got to explain yourself.
Boy. Bone, my state never ceases to amaze, brother. My state.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I started to smile when you went to Florida, man. I started smiling because I knew something was coming up.
Yeah, always. Well, Bone, I tell you what, but good to get you on the show again this week. Hope to get you again next week, and I'm glad you'll tell a certain coach you're back and better than ever. You wasn't fired at all.
Oh no, I'm going to be back. I'll be back more frequently. I want to say hi to all my friends and buddies out there.
Yes, indeed, folks. That's my man, Tony T-Bone Williams, here with me on the Bossman Show. Check us out always at bossmanshow.com.
My heart skips skipping the beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist. Okay.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me? Somebody to love.
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consultant, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting or Twitter at Coach TWill24 or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
How do you feel about your office? Is it just a space for your company, or is it a space to help you grow your company? From new HQs to satellite offices, with WeWork, you can find a space that works for you. Visit we.co/Space Matters to learn more.